Hey everybody, how are you today? Today we're going to go over chapter 2. We started a review of the book, The Magic of Thinking Big. And so if you haven't watched the previous video to this one, then may want to go back and watch that. And so we are on chapter 2 of The Magic of Thinking Big. Yesterday we of course reviewed, Thinking Big, the whole premise behind it. If the dream is big enough, the facts don't count. Talked about Les Brown, and I couldn't remember his saying yesterday, and I remembered it this morning. It's called a character building day. So instead of saying you've had a bad day, you say I've had a character building day, because all of our experiences, of course, do build character. All right. So today on chapter 2, we are talking about Excusitis, the disease, and lots of people have this disease. And interesting, in this chapter they outline 4 main Excusitis diseases. Oh, sorry, got a hair thing going on here. Okay, one, this is the things that people use for excuses. This is where their go-tos. Okay, so the 1 is health, 2 is intelligence, 3 is age, and 4 is luck. So first of all, let's start with health. There's this, in the book, they talk about a study that says that 3 out of 4 hospital beds are occupied by people with what they call EII disease, emotionally induced illness. I mean, really, come on people, you're thinking yourself sick. Okay, I'm sure that you have, and I know I have, run into people who are always sick. There's always something wrong with them. Oh, this joint aches, and I have this, and strangely enough, most of the time people are overweight. They usually have diabetes. They have some sort of a heart problem. They have excused illnesses up the wazoo, and really, in a lot of cases, 1, drink more water, and 2, move. You have to keep moving. You just absolutely must. There are a couple stories in the chapter, and basically, in one of the stories, there's an elderly gentleman. He's talking about a friend of his, the writer's friend, and he has had diabetes his whole entire life. And serious diabetes, but his outlook on life was this: live until you die. And we have run into, you and myself and many people, you have run into people who are already dead. They are the walking dead. There's a show called The Walking Dead, and if you've ever watched it, there's these zombies, and they're not alive, but they're not dead either. They're just walking around in a zombie state, and this is no way to do life. And so if this is you, I'm talking to you, and to stop doing that. Stop, being your own worst enemy, and stop talking about how sick you are. You have, walked yourself into a sickness. Live until you die, and don't get life and death confused. Live now. This guy that had this serious diabetes, I mean, the kind that, just can't be controlled with a little bit of diet. And he did his best to live healthy life. He did whatever he could to make his life and his family's life abundant. He had kids. He had a career. He was a lawyer, and did whatever he could, regardless of the fact that he had a very serious disease, and he didn't let it. And I've met many diabetics with far less disease than that, who did nothing but complain about their diabetes and about, their plight in life and blah, blah, blah. So, health, don't do health. I was run over by a transport truck when I was 19 years old. I was hit head on by a transport truck, and literally, they had to cut me out with the jaws of life. I have many injuries. I basically have broken everything. And, things don't work like they used to. I have a partially paralyzed leg. I have, stuff just, as you get older, stuff aches and whatever, and that has never been an excuse for me. My husband is a triathlete. I am not that caliber of a triathlete, but I'm out there. I'm on the roads. I run, I bike, I swim, kinda. I'm a pathetic swimmer. But you know what? I have never ever let this thing slow me down. There are things that I've had to maybe change up. I've had to learn how to do them perhaps a little differently, but never slow me down. And I could have. I easily could have. I'm telling you, there are days when I ache all over from when I've been out running or biking all day, and I come in and I just ache. Here's the thing. I ache anyways. If I sit on a couch all day, I ache. So I might as well be moving and getting my body a few years further into the future so that I can hit my goals and my dreams than sitting on the couch complaining about it. So that's always been my outlook. Like I hurt anyways because of this car accident. That's the way it is. And I can use it for an excuse or just get moving. So, okay. There's a diabetes amputee, and he's very good in golf. And he had only one arm and still playing golf. And this was his saying, and I thought it was a fantastic saying. The right attitude and one arm will beat the wrong attitude and two arms any day. So don't be that person with two arms and losing, okay? And it's better to wear out and not rust out. I totally agree with that. All right, the number 2 excuse is intelligence. You've got to have brains to succeed. Well, no, that's not necessarily true. I mean, you have to have brains, but you don't have to be highly educated. You don't have to have a PhD. You don't have to have gone to the greatest schools in all the world. And a matter of fact, most of a lot of business leaders, people who are really making it, haven't actually had much education. They just, again, like yesterday's, they just believe they could. And, you know, buckled down and did the work that it required to get done. So do not sell yourself short. 2 mistakes we make when it comes to intelligence. We underestimate our own brain power, and then we overestimate the other guy's brain power. Stickability is 95% of ability. Remember that. I said yesterday as well, just don't quit. Like, I mean, whatever you do, just don't quit. Just keep at it. You might have to adjust your course a little. You might have to, you know, you've learned something. You might have to change things, but just don't quit. So if you just stick it out, the people, what was the saying? It goes something like the C average people are the B average people are working for the C average people, and the A average people are working for the B average people. That's your school things. Because those who are quick, they've never had to actually work very hard. And so when it comes to work, then they actually don't know how to. And so the people who have the B's and the C's in life, they have to work. They've had to probably work really hard for those marks because, you know, maybe their brains don't work the way the school system does. But they've learned, they have a work ethic. By the time they get out of school, they're used to working. And so for most of those people, that's the reason they succeed. It's not because they're smarter. It's because they have to work and they know how to work and they stick with it. Okay? Thinking that guides your intelligence is much more important than how much intelligence you have. Not even a PhD degree can override that principle. The thinking that guides your intelligence is much more important than how much intelligence you have. Okay, number 3, age. Oh my gosh, age. People use this all the time. 1, I'm too young to do this, or 2, I'm too old to do this. So here's a way to cure this. So let's say that people are perhaps you start being productive, let's just say age 20. There's kids out there now that are productive at a much earlier age, but let's just, for argument's sake, say 20. And when is kind of the end of your productive period? Well, let's say 70. Now, we both also know that there's people that are productive way past 70, but just for argument's sake, we're going to do a 50-year window. Okay, so put yourself somewhere in those 50 years. Where are you? In me, at 50 years old, and if I say that 70 is, kind of the end of it, I still have 20 years left. So, if you put yourself in that, go, okay, where am I in this? How many years am I into my productive years, and how many years have I got left? And look at where you're sitting. And if you have more years left than you have started, then get busy. I mean, you've got a lot of productive years left to go. So stop using age as an excuse. When is the right age? The right age is right now. That's when the right time is. It's always right now. Okay. I attract bad luck. Bad luck. Luck. Oh my gosh. If we used bad luck, I would be holding up my hand going, oh, well, that would be me. My husband always jokes about putting me in a bubble because I trip, I fall, I hurt myself. I'm home for 5 minutes. He bought me one of those mandolin slicers. I asked him to pick one up for me. I wanted to make pickles, and within 5 minutes, I had sliced off the top of my finger. That's how life is for me. But did I finish making the pickles? Yeah, absolutely. You can use it as an excuse, or you just, do like I do. I kind of laugh at myself and move on. You have to learn to have a sense of humor about your life. Okay, so let's not use that. Like I said, I mean, being run over by a truck, people might consider that to be really bad luck, and that could have stopped people. But so behind the scenes, the bad luck. In reading this and thinking about this, I was thinking about people, musicians, people who are considered overnight success, and how there is actually no such thing as an overnight success. If you look at these people and you go behind the scenes to see what has happened in their life, they have been working hard. Many of them have been working since they were very young to perfect their craft. Some of them, they've, even at young ages, they've like snuck into bars and stuff to, start singing or do whatever they have to do because they have a goal, they have a dream, and they're going to make it. And so really, luck is not luck. What it is it's really hard work. And that's usually the case with most people. You don't see what they've been doing behind the case. It looks like they're lucky, but chances are it's not luck at all. They're just willing to do more work than you are. So conquer the luck excusitis. The law of cause and effect. Don't waste your mental muscle on thinking that there's a way that you're going to make it without work. There are lotteries out there, and we all like to think about what would happen if I won the lottery. What could I do with that money? And that's a great exercise for building a dream, but it's not a great exercise for living your life. Fact of the matter is, very few people win the lottery, so you can't count on that. And don't waste your mental attitude, your mental muscle on that kind of thinking. So build a dream, build a plan, get busy, do the work. What is it going to take for you to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve? Nicky Anderson, I've talked about him before. He always says, results are not typical, so don't be typical. So in this chapter, the chapter of Excusitis, I'm going to urge you not to have any excuses. Do not let your age, your health, whether or not you think you have good or bad luck, be the guide. What was the other one? Oh, your intelligence. Don't let those dictate your life. Stop with the excuses and carry on. Yeah, If you catch yourself making excuses, just laugh at yourself and go, okay, all right, I did it. Here I am making excuses. Pick yourself up and carry on. So that's it for chapter 2. I'm hoping you're enjoying this. If you are enjoying this, please leave a little note below, or if you have thoughts about something, I'd love to hear your comments. And we'll carry on with chapter 3 tomorrow. Have a fabulous day, everybody. Love you all.